The rain hammered the roof like it was trying to break through, each drop a reminder that some storms you can't outwait. You have to face them. I was up late again. Same old armchair. Same cold tea gone bitter in the mug. The floral pattern on the upholstery was almost worn through where Sarah used to sit, knees tucked under her, reading by lamplight. The phone buzzed. Video call from Emily. I answered quickly, pasting on the smile I perfected over the last few years. Hey, sweetheart. How's married life treating you? Her return smile was thin, practiced, eyes dull. Fine, Dad. Just checking in. Same script. Same tight voice. For months now. It's just marriage problems. It'll pass. I'd offer help. Money, a plane ticket just to talk. Always the same gentle deflection. No, really. We're good. But fathers know when the light in their daughter's eyes has been slowly snuffed out. 3 years of marriage to Ethan had done that. We talked surface things. The rain here, the tomatoes finally reddening in my garden despite the neglect, her latest gallery exhibit on abstract expressionism that she described with half-hearted enthusiasm. Then the background noise sliced through. Ethan's voice, not quite shouting but sharp enough to cut glass. Wrapped in that veneer of superiority, he wore like expensive cologne. You're nothing without my family's connections. You know that? Even your father couldn't afford the life you pretend to have. He's just a washed-up engineer scraping by on pension scraps. You think you deserve this? You're lucky I tolerate you. Emily's face drained of color. Her hand shook as she tried to angle the phone away. Dad, I have to go. The call lingered just long enough for me to hear her small, broken whisper. Please, Ethan, not now. His laugh answered, cold, amused, cruel. Not now. When then? You're being too sensitive again. Just like your old man. Always overreacting to nothing. Screen went black. I sat frozen, pulse thundering in my ears, tea forgotten. 20 minutes later the phone lit up again. Same video icon. I answered immediately. Her face appeared, hair smoothed, lighting adjusted, eyes carefully dry. Dad, sorry about that, she said in a rush, words tumbling like she'd rehearsed them. It was just a misunderstanding. Ethan's had a long day at work, and we got into a silly argument. Everything's fine now. I studied her. The forced calm. The way her gaze slid sideways for a heartbeat before locking back on the camera. Shame makes people build walls thicker than brick. I could almost see the fresh mortar between the stones. I didn't push. Didn't call her out. Just nodded slowly, voice low and even. I'm here if you ever need me. Sweetheart. Always. She swallowed hard, gave the smallest nod. I know, Dad. Thanks. I love you. I love you too. The call ended quietly this time. But those 20 minutes had shattered the last of my denial. The mask had slipped. I'd seen the bruise. No more waiting for her to ask. No more pretending it might fix itself. A memory crashed in. Emily at 5, dirt-streaked knees, climbing into my lap after a 12-hour shift on the site. My hands still gritty with concrete dust, her small arms around my neck. You're my hero, Daddy. Sarah laughing from the kitchen doorway, apron dusted with flour. Later, Sarah's funeral. Emily in black, 13 years old, clutching my sleeve and whispering, Don't leave me too, Dad. I'd sworn then I'd protect her from anything. I'd worked overtime, saved every cent, fought for her scholarships, bought her first condo the day she graduated. And now Ethan was dismantling her, piece by quiet piece, using my name as one of his favorite weapons. Rage rose, hot and black. I forced it down. Rage is sloppy. Engineers don't fix things with rage. We measure. We calculate load. We find weak points. We apply pressure. Slow, deliberate, unstoppable. If you enjoy thoughtful stories like this, you're welcome to subscribe. And feel free to share. Have you ever felt that quiet helplessness when someone you love was hurting? Soft. No pressure. Love had made me patient too long. Pain made me precise. The abuse had been surgical from the start. Subtle enough to deny. Sharp enough to scar. Ethan's family money was mostly illusion by then. The estate more mortgage than mansion. But he wore the old money polish like armor. In college he dazzled her. Thoughtful, attentive, always saying, You're so grounded, Emily. Not like these spoiled girls. In public, he was flawless, opening doors, praising her taste at gallery openings, toasting me at the wedding as the man who raised a true gem. Privately, the mask slipped inch by inch. It started with small cuts. "That dress is a bit common, babe. You could do better." She'd laugh it off on our calls. "He's just protective, Dad." Comes from his world. But I heard the small hurt settle in her voice, the way it lingered longer each time. Then he took the money. Her gallery salary went straight into joint accounts he controlled. "You're terrible with numbers, sweetheart. Let me handle it. You focus on your art." She started calling less. Sounded tired. Thin. "I'm fine, Dad." But the tremble was there, faint but constant. The worst was the quiet gaslighting, relentless, devastating. "You're too sensitive, Emily. I didn't mean it like that. You always twist my words. You're lucky I married you. Your family's modest." Apologies came wrapped in gifts, bracelets that sparkled, weekend trips to the coast. Then the cycle spun again. "You provoke me. If you carried yourself better, I wouldn't have to say these things." She began believing she was the problem. Friends drifted away because she stopped answering. She told herself marriage was supposed to be hard. She told me the same when I asked. Voice small. Quiet men are dangerous when they start planning. Also, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop it in the comments. It's always nice seeing how far these stories reach. I didn't want revenge for its own sake. I wanted her free, clean, safe, whole again. So I played the part. The trusting, slightly dim father-in-law. I visited more often, showed up unannounced with coffee and small talk. Sat with Ethan over his expensive single malt while he lectured me about high-stakes finance, smirking as he explained things I already understood better than he ever would. "Tell me about your work, son." He'd lean back, pleased. "It's complicated, Dad. Don't worry your head." I listened. Memorized names of investors, fragments of deals, casual boasts about creative structuring. Every word went into a mental ledger. I remembered her graduation hug, cap tassel swinging, whispering, "Thanks to you, Dad." Her wedding day, my arm steady as I walked her down the aisle, thinking she was finally safe. I would make her safe again. I started small, at a tense family dinner, crystal glasses catching the chandelier light, his imported wine breathing on the table. He leaned back and floated a casual request for bridge funding on a property deal, eyes gleaming, expecting me to jump at the chance to be useful. Emily sat silent beside him, shoulders curved inward like she was trying to disappear. I set my fork down slowly. "Ah, son. Wish I could. Getting old. These modern deals are beyond me now. You're the expert. You'll figure it out." His smile froze for heartbeat. A flicker of irritation crossed his face before the mask snapped back into place. "Of course, Dad. We always do." But his knuckles went white around the stem of his glass. Emily looked between us, confusion, then the tiniest spark of something else. Hope, maybe. I felt the first real crack form. From there, I worked quietly on the things he valued most. His reputation, his network, the illusion of untouchability. An old colleague, Mike, still sat on the industry oversight board. We met for lunch at a greasy diner downtown. Vinyl booths, bottomless coffee, the kind of place Ethan would never set foot in. I asked casual questions about compliance trends, misreporting red flags, quiet settlements. Dropped Ethan's name like an afterthought. Mike's brow creased. The seed was in the ground. I drove hours to networking events, stuffy hotel ballrooms, cheap motels, name tags and forced smiles. Mingled with the investors Ethan loved to name drop. Heard your firm's killing it with Ethan at the helm. Any compliance worries? Things can snowball fast in this market. Polite smiles turned thoughtful. Eyes narrowed. Doubt took root quietly. Anonymous tips went out from public library computers. Burner email, redacted public records showing inflated valuations, questionable loan documents. Not a flood, a steady drip, enough to make people ask questions they hadn't asked before. The collapse didn't happen overnight. Reality is slower and messier than memory wants to admit. Audits take months, planning, field work, endless document requests. Investigations crawl forward, gathering statements, interviewing witnesses. One man doesn't topple an empire alone. He just starts the cracks that let everything else in. It took nearly a year for the real weight to gather. Tips became inquiries. Inquiries became formal audits. Investors withdrew gradually at first. Polite emails citing due diligence concerns, then in waves as red flags multiplied. Deals stalled. Phone calls turned frantic. Ethan's polish frayed. I watched it unfold through Emily's voice on late-night calls, through glimpses during visits. He paced their living room, barking at assistants over the phone. What do you mean they need more docs? This is bullshit. Sweat on his brow in air-conditioned rooms. Emily hovered nearby, terrified, blaming herself. I overheard arguments through thin walls, his voice low and venomous. Your family's curse is ruining us. Her broken replies. I'm sorry. I'll try harder. Her calls to me grew rawer. Dad, auditors are everywhere now. Investors are gone. He's falling apart. I soothed her. Hang on, love. Things have a way of working out. Inside, a quiet triumph built. His empire was buckling, smugness replaced by hollow eyes. Paranoia. Rage turned inward and then outward at her. If those tips were ever traced back to me, defamation suits, legal ruin, everything I had left, I was ready to pay the price. Her freedom was worth my everything. The final piece was hers alone. Late one night, rain still drumming the roof, I called my solicitor, old friend Harold who'd handled Sarah's estate. Transfer everything to Emily's name only. Ironclad trusts. Anti-dissipation clauses. Make sure he can't touch a cent. Harold paused. This locks him out completely. Good, I said. He double-checked every line. Emily knew nothing yet. It waited like a hidden lifeboat. 11 months after that first overheard call she filed. Broke on a call from a park bench, voice cracking. I can't anymore, Dad. He's destroying me. Real tears. I held the phone like it could hold her. You're stronger than you know. I'm here. Courtroom day arrived. Sterile air. Ethan sat rigid in his tailored suit, face ashen, whispering desperately to lawyers his audit summaries, investor exit letters, employee complaints stacked against him like bricks. Emily testified, voice steady despite the tears, about years of quiet erosion, the way she'd slowly stopped recognizing herself. The judge granted the divorce, froze joint assets, pending the ongoing investigation to prevent any last-minute dissipation. Ethan exploded, surged to his feet, pointed across the room at me. You did this. You destroyed me, you meddling old bastard. I'll sue you into the ground. His voice cracked on a last word. Raw, desperate, stripped of every layer of polish. The gallery gasped. Emily flinched beside me. I met his eyes, calm, steady, and said nothing. The judge's gavel cracked like thunder. Sit down, Mr. Hawthorne, or you'll be in contempt. He collapsed back into the chair, shoulders heaving, the weight of investigations and frozen funds pressing down like a collapsing roof. I walked out with Emily, my arm around her shoulders. The heavy courtroom door clicked shut behind us. Now she's free. A small condo with a park view where morning light spills across her easel. Therapy twice a week. Painting again. Bold colors. Fearless strokes. I feel like me again, Dad, she says, and the smile reaches her eyes. We talk every day. Old garden stories, plans for a next show, quiet laughter over nothing. The memories are healing us both. She still doesn't know the full cost. When she asks how I knew the cracks were there, I shrug. Old engineers see structural flaws. Sweetheart, the truth stays mine. Last savings gone to keep the tips flowing and the trusts unbreakable. The family cabin sold. The one with the creaky porch swing. The lake where Sarah and I watched sunsets. Her hand warm in mine. Pine scent thick in the air. The realtor's call felt like a knife twist. But watching Emily stand tall again, unbroken, worth every memory traded. She chose escape. I chose to help her. If this story meant something to you, consider liking and subscribing. And let me know, what would you have done? Thanks for being here. Take care.